before. We are live. I don't know if y'all can hear me. Let me find out if y'all can hear me. I am Charles Brown. Right there on the other screen is Dale. Welcome to Old Heads Only. Look down in the comments. You'll see a link to clbmg.com. Make sure you hit that and support the show or shows that are happening right now before your very eyes. What's up, Dale?
Dale Man's in the building.
Dale Man, a.k.a. Four Eyes the Ugly Professor.
Four Eyes
The
the
Ugly
Ugly Professor.
He got beats for sale. We got beats here. Make sure y'all check out Dale Man, a.k.a. Four Eyes Ugly Professor. He got beats. We got albums together. We've been together a long time, and we are considered, guess what? Old heads.
Yep.
How you feel about that term, Dale?
It doesn't bother me. I know you said it bothers you, but maybe, do you have like youngins calling you old head or OG and all that shit?
OG, yeah. I told you the story about I was in the club dancing, and the young dude was like, "Oh, go OG, go OG, go OG." I was like, "Nah, that ain't it, bro. That ain't it, bro." I stopped dancing. I was like, "Yeah, that ain't gonna work."
Yeah, maybe it doesn't bother me because I don't hear it. I'm not around, like everybody I'm around pretty much late 30s, 40s, 50s. So I don't hear it. Yeah, they all right with me.
They all right with you. Hold up, bro. One of my channels ain't on here. Hold up, Dale. One of my channels is not on here. Let me see something real quick. All right, it's on one of my pages, but not my other page. Hold up, Dale. I want to start this shit over. Let me see something. Give me 1 second, Dale. I want to start this shit over, bro. All right, we should be good. 1 second, Dale. So we good. All right, so listen. We got a hell of a show for y'all tonight. Something that I feel like is important to us of an elder cloth. The great and vaunted Source magazine. You know what made this topic come to my mind, Dale?
Why is that?
I saw the Benzino interview on Drink Champs, and he said something that kind of bothered me. He said when he was running the Source, he only put his hand in 3 or 4 5 mic decisions, and per se he blocked them himself. He said he blocked Outkast, Southern Playalistic from getting 5 mics. He made them give them 4.5 or 4 instead.
He was running it way back then?
Yeah. He said Lil Brother didn't get 5 mics.
Became a part of it like in the late 90s.
Listen, he was running from the beginning, Dale.
Wow, I did not know that.
He was in that joint for a minute, and then his man put him as half partner. They fired the whole staff because they didn't like Benzino the way he was running things. But yeah, Benzino straight up said he's the reason. He said he was the reason that Outkast didn't get their 5 mics. He's the reason that Lil Brother didn't get their 5 mics. And he named a couple more too. I don't remember who he said, but I thought that was lame, bro. I was like, think about that, Dale. This dude blocked these dudes from getting 5 mics. He said he believed that the reason that Andre said the South got something to say was because the word got back to Dre that Benzino blocked their 5 mics.
Wow, that takes the whole thing to me, man. I didn't know he was involved so early.
Yeah. Now, I think he said Southern Playalistic, but I'm not even sure if it was that one or the one after, ATLians. But either way, the fact that Benzino was able to block these dudes from getting their 5 mics, which at the time, first of all, is very important. And I don't think that's why the staff that was working there didn't like him, because he was putting his foot in a lot of stuff. So it's like, bro, you were able to he was like, I wasn't listening to Southern music like that. Process that, Dale.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Benzino was able to block Outkast because he didn't like Southern music like that. I'm gonna do a whole video on that myself. But what's your
That's
first thoughts
crazy.
on that?
Well, first of all, you kind of blew my mind. All this time I thought he didn't really get involved with the Source until like the late 90s, early 2000s. I thought it was pretty legit up until then, but you telling me he was even involved heavy earlier than that. So that kind of like make me look at the Source. I like it. Like it was good up until Benzino got involved, but then you tell me he was involved real early. So
yeah, but he wasn't involved. Like he was like a minor player. He was with his. It was his man, and he was on it. He was inside doing whatever, but he wasn't running it. But he had a little. He had a little power. He would muscle some stuff. That's when he started muscling his group into the magazine. When the magazine started popping, he started muscling his group in there, and then like the reporters
Mighty
and all the
RSO.
journalists,
The Mighty RSO.
Yeah, and then the journalist that was working there was like, we don't rock with this dude. We're all set with this dude, so we don't want him in here no more. So yeah, he was a part of it, but he didn't get really bunky footing it till a little later. But yeah, he definitely was messing. He was definitely had his hand in it a little bit. So I'm like,
wow.
bro, it's wild to me that you can't you had a guy that wasn't respecting all manners of hip hop, able to actually put his foot in it and stop it from being what it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy to me. But this
so
way we at with it.
I'm guessing whoever was doing the write up for the Outkast joint that he said don't give it 5 mics wanted to give it 5 mics. And I'm guessing it was like
I think they used to have a voting system.
Oh, like a committee? Like it had a committee voting on it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he put his foot down, started like threatening, like, yo, y'all not giving that 5 mics. And he did it to little brother too.
What was the reason for little brother? No reason? Did he say a reason?
He didn't really say the reason.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta think, if he was able to do that, right? That book is tainted.
Yeah.
But the reason I want to talk about the Source, right? I want to just discuss hip hop magazines from the beginning. Do you remember your first experience with the Source?
I have no recollection of my first experience with the Source. I bought it early in I think it came about in like 1988, but I don't think I started getting them until like very early 90s.
Okay.
And I was buying it faithfully ever since until like, probably mid 2000s when I stopped buying it. So you still got any of yours?
Right here.
Yeah, I got one right here.
Hold it up. What you got? What's that, Diddy?
No, that's no.
Nas, hold on. I got a stack. Most of my joints just got destroyed like 2 years ago by water. But I got hold on. This is the Rap Pages with RZA.
Oh, you got a Rap Page joint.
I got the Rap Pages with RZA. XXL with 50 on the cover.
I still got XXL with Jay-Z.
I got the XL with Foxy.
Oh, okay.
I got the joint with Raekwon. These are joints that didn't get destroyed. I had a big ass box of these joints. The Jay-Z XXL. This joint, some drama came behind that. This the Source with who was that? Lil Jon.
Lil Jon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's called David Banner and what was that big dude? Forgot his name.
Bone Crusher.
Yeah, I ain't never scared joint. Yeah. Eminem, okay. You got a whole bunch of joints. I only got like a few left.
Your boy Birdman when he was rapping. Hold on, I got a couple more joints. Hold on. Bro.
Oh, you got a Biggie joint.
Double XL. Let me see if Biggie was dead already though.
You think them joints gonna be worth any money or not?
Nah, they ain't worth. They worth a little bit on eBay. That
Oh,
was
okay.
04. And this is your boy Murder. Hold on. The top 100. Now this is interesting. The top 115 artists from 1988 to 2003. They did a whole. I would love to go
Oh,
dissect
okay.
this joint.
Wow.
I would love to dissect this joint. Got the joint with Eve. And I said, these some local joints. But look, I want to talk about what them joints mean, dog. Because I feel like the Source changed our lives, believe it or not. You don't feel that way?
Yeah. You wanted to be when we was in the group and stuff, I wanted to be on Unsigned Hype.
I sent my joint in the Unsigned Hype, but I blew it because I tried to use my son baby picture. I put a little Charlie in there. It's probably like, man, look at this lane. And then we got a call back, right? I told the story before. We got a call back from some dude saying he can get us in the Source. What was it, like $200 or something? Do you remember that, Dale?
I don't even remember that.
We got a call back for some random New York dude. He said he'll put your picture, he'll put you in Unsigned Hype guaranteed for $200. What I think it was an intern or something at the magazine that was taking all this, like as many of them submissions as he could, and just calling dudes, telling them, give me 200, I'll get you in there. Because there's no way, how would he know that we sent that unless he worked there?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Now, you know goddamn well you can't get no Unsigned Hype for no $200. Goddamn well, that was some bullshit. So I was like, damn, we was thinking about paying it too. Like, yo, it's Unsigned Hype. Yo, we might should pay that. Yo, like, we was about to pay $200 for a scam, bro. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I wonder how many people paid him, though.
He probably made a lot of money, Joe.
He probably made a lot of money. You know how many dudes are trying to get in that joint? Man,
Yeah.
Man, that joint
Niggas
changed.
want to get
Listen,
on bad.
yeah. I used to think that if you automatically got in there, you really got on. Like, but everybody didn't make it. Everybody didn't blow up because Unsigned Hype. A couple people got in that joint that ain't go nowhere.
That's true, but a lot of people did.
A lot of people did. Because labels started looking at you.
Like Mobb Deep, they wasn't even called Mobb Deep at the time. They called like Prophecy or something, Poets of Prophecy or some shit. Before they was Mobb Deep, they was in Unsigned Hype. Biggie was in Unsigned Hype.
Huh?
Biggie was in Unsigned Hype.
Yeah, we don't know if that Unsigned Hype led to people seeing them and making them move a little quicker on them than, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe that we, even though we felt like their name was different or whatever, that Unsigned Hype could have did something for them.
Yeah.
But I want to read this thing right now and then get into the history of the Source because I feel like the Source was our internet.
It was, yeah.
It was our internet. So I want to refresh your memory of what happened with the Source. Here we go. The Source is an American hip-hop entertainment website and magazine. It wasn't a website back then. It publishes annually or semi-annually, and it is the world's longest-running rap periodical, founded as a newsletter in 1988 by David Mays. You know why I remember that newsletter? Somebody was showing me that all it was a one sheet of paper when it first was the Source with the albums and songs that was hot. That's all it was. It was telling you what songs was hot, what was popping, from where, yada, yada, yada. You gotta think in 88, that was early. Like, hip hop was blowing up in 88, but it was still, you know what I'm saying? Like,
relatively new.
Relatively new. We had a lot of people, though. LL, Run DMC, Heavy D was out by 88, I believe.
88 was, I would say 88 is one of the best years for hip hop. You think about all the albums that year.
It was. So he created that newsletter in 88. And I remember seeing it, and we used to geek off that just because it was just like a little, it might have a story in it or whatever, but we used to geek off just that little newsletter. And it says, let me see something. when it came out in 1988, it was only doing 100. What did it say? No, it said I'm bugging out. It says it's celebrating its 100th issue since 1988. Yeah, I think it's only 12 months in a year. It came out once a month. So let me see something. Just checking the comments. So listen, I believe that without the source, hip hop wouldn't have grown, bro.
I believe that too.
I believe that they kind of like made hip hop to what it is. So here it says that others that were involved were co-owners and editors Ray Benzino, Leon Scott between 2005 and 2010. It ain't really saying what his job was, but I know that he got half the company at some point.
Yeah.
So, and these are the 5 mic albums that they gave out: Tribe Called Quest first joint, Ice Cube America's Most Wanted, Eric B and Rakim Let the Rhythm Hit Him, Brand Nubian One for All. This is why they 5 mics used to mean so much, because they was usually on point.
Yeah, they were usually on point. Even
De La Soul is Dead. The Low End Theory, Tribe joint, Illmatic, Nas, they was on point. Life After Death, Biggie, Aquemini, Outkast, Jay-Z The Blueprint, Stillmatic, Nas, The Fix, Scarface, The Naked Truth, Lil' Kim, Trill OG, Bun B, and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Kanye West. So
I never agree with the Lil' Kim joint or the Bun B joint.
Really?
But I mean, they were solid albums, but I never thought they was classic. I didn't think they was even borderline classic.
I thought that Lil' Kim album was real strong. I wouldn't say it was. I
thought her first album was way better than that joint to me. But
really,
yeah,
maybe they was giving it to her to try to like finally appease her or something.
She was just getting out of jail at that time. Remember that?
Okay.
That's how she dropped when she got out of prison, got out of jail.
Now they got 8 albums that was considered 4. They was originally given 4.5, but they ended up re-rated them to 5. I'm gonna tell you what they were: Breaking Adams, Main Source, Ice Cube, Death Certificate, Dr. Dre, The Chronic. How you get a Chronic 4.5 mics?
How you get a Death Certificate 4.5 mics? Yeah. That's crazy to me.
Wu-Tang 36 Chambers.
Oh my God.
They gave that 4.5. Ready to Die. The infamous Mobb Deep. Only Built for Cuban Links in 2001, Dr. Dre. So they gave Dre both times 4.5.
That's crazy.
Now they got albums that was originally 4 mics. It's only 6 of them. Grip It on That Other Level, The Ghetto Boys. Is that 5 mics?
No.
All right. Doggy Style, Snoop Doggy Dogg, Scarface, The Diary.
Wait a minute, hold up. They gave Doggy Style 4 at first?
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's wild.
That is wild.
The Diaries, Scarface, which is wild. But
yeah.
They was hard on stuff. Me Against the World, Tupac. The Score, The Fugees. And Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z. Then they gave Jay-Z 4 mics and then bumped it up to 5. So all of these joints to me is considered classic. Did I say now they got some albums that never was rated because Source didn't exist yet. Actually, that's not true. Because All Eyes on Me, Source was out. It says albums that were not rated upon their release but later received 5 mics. Run DMC, first album Run DMC. Radio, LL Cool J. License to Ill, Beastie Boys. Raising Hell, Run DMC. Boogie Down Productions. Huh?
All the stuff that came out before the Source.
Yeah, but there's some stuff on here that came out after. I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, okay.
Paid in Full, Eric B and Rakim. By All Means Necessary, Boogie Down Productions. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. Public Enemy, Long Live the Kane, Big Daddy Kane, Critical Beatdown, Ultramagnetic MCs, Straight Out the Jungle, Jungle Brothers, Strictly Business, EPMD, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick, Straight Outta Compton, NWA, No One Can Do It Better, the DLC, and All Eyes on Me. I think Source was out back then. Wait, maybe it wasn't. Let me
It
see
was
something.
out doing. It was out doing All Eyes on Me. I don't understand that one.
Yeah.
I don't know why they rate that one.
All Eyes on Me came out in 1996.
Yeah, so they was already popping. So I don't understand why they ain't review it, but
maybe it was some East Coast, West Coast nonsense.
Yeah, maybe they're scared. Maybe they're scared of Pac.
Yeah, they probably because Pac was wilding by then. By the time that dropped, Pac was on full. Pac was already wilding. So I don't know, man. I feel like they was calling themselves the Hip Hop Bible, wasn't they, Dale?
Yeah.
I feel like what happened with the Source was Benzino hand was in too much, and hip hop too subjective. His hand was in too much. I feel like we and it was too many. It was just too commercial for a while. I remember the Source was like the Bible, right? Then that joint just turned mad. Every page was some ads about some fashion. Everybody had a clothing line. Everybody had. Let me get this joint. Everybody had a. Let me look at this joint. This is a joint with Eve on the cover. Then they started doing the centerfolds.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah. They started doing it. Just got too shiny, bro. Like,
remember Double XL used to have like the video vixen layouts of the other month.
Yeah, I think that's who started it was Double XL. But these magazines was the internet, bro.
I used to read them from back. I used to read them joints from back to back, cover to back.
Yeah.
Even if it's somebody I didn't like, I used to read the interview anyway.
That's what made it better though, because you didn't like, but you got to know somebody that you didn't like.
Yeah.
What Chop say? The mic system got messed. Oh, he's talking about. Yeah, he's right. He said that the mic system got messed up too. He's right. We was talking about the centerfold. Oh yeah, so the Source was all we had for a very long time, and I feel like a lot of dudes was able to buy their way in there. I don't know if you know about like all the like labels was able to buy stuff and bring it. I'll take it.
And for mics,
not necessarily. Well, I don't know about mics, but I know they was able to get a lot of. Thank you. If they was able to pay for an ad, they was getting more consideration for stuff. They was leaning toward the companies that was doing advertising. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what Chop said. So Chop said the people, you know what I'm saying, was paying for mics and stuff. Give me a second.
I can believe that.
It got really crazy. It got wild. And give me 1 second. Yeah, bro. So he said folks start buying mics for album. Payola messed up everything. He's right. And I feel like you could feel when it wasn't something real on there, right? Like something that got in there like, come on, dog, that shit ain't supposed to be in there. And for better or for worse, right? And I know a lot of people love Master P and they love No Limit, but to let them put so many ads in there, it kind of taint hip hop a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? remember when Master P had 50 albums?
Yeah.
And he was buying the middle spread.
At one point, it felt like something every week was coming out on No Limit. Like they was dropping a new album from their label every week.
Yeah. So it felt like hip hop was for sale, bro. Can you hear me, Dale? Did my sound go out?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
I can hear you.
But I don't want to take away what they did, right? Because what they did, they kind of mimic what other magazines was already doing. All we had before the Source was Jet Magazine, Ebony Magazine.
No, yeah. Remember you had Right On and Fresh?
You had Right On, Fresh, and Teen
Yeah,
Tiger Beat.
yeah. Something like that.
Tiger
Yeah, I know
Beat.
what you're talking about.
We had Tiger Beat. And it was like you got your rap in there, and sometimes you got a little bit, but the source filled that void. The stuff that we couldn't get from nowhere else, the source would go deeper. Because we was into so much stuff, like they said, Breaking Adams. What's these dudes? Breaking Adams, the freaking
Main
main
source.
source. They wasn't gonna get no shine in no daggone Tiger Beat or no no Right On. They wasn't gonna get no shine like that. Kane got shine in that because I remember seeing Big Daddy Kane in the Right On, and I remember
Yeah.
seeing him in the Tiger
LL
Beat and this
Cool
and that.
J all the time. Salt and Pepper. I remember them always on the cover, Right On or Fresh.
Yeah, but the real stuff that we was listening to at the time wasn't gonna get no shine. Organized confusion and hieroglyphics, King T. That stuff wasn't gonna really get no shine like that because it wasn't really
Yeah.
commercial like that. And that's what the source was. In the beginning, the source was good, bro. In the beginning, the source was everything we thought it was. But like what Benzino was saying was a lot of them was like college kids, eggheads, right? But that's who you needed to be. You needed some intelligent. He was like, we was from the streets and the raps is from the hip hop from the streets. But I'm like, okay. But at the same time, you need those eggheads to put it into words. You know what I'm saying? To run a
Right.
magazine, to meet deadlines in the right articles. Ain't no street dude's gonna be able to do that. And what he didn't like was the college kids making decisions on what was dope. You know what I'm saying? And what wasn't dope. But
And
for
them
the most
college
part,
kids are not and them college kids are not gonna just listen to street shit. They're gonna listen to the super lyrical stuff. They're gonna listen to
yeah,
the conscious shit. They're gonna listen to all that shit.
exactly. So it's not up to him to say it should be only street dudes on the panel. He's like, hip hop is a street thing, da da da. And by college dudes, I'm thinking he meaning some of them was white. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure some of them was black. A lot of them was black. But I'm sure a lot of them was white. And he didn't respect their opinion. So like a lot of dudes back in the day, like in the streets, you size people up off color a lot of times. Especially with this hip hop. You're like, oh, what do you know about hip hop? That's you know what I'm saying? It's like kind of like, and it's gonna sound crazy, but like a female giving their opinion on football. You like, you don't play, you don't even play. Well, how you know what you know what I'm saying? That's how that's probably how he was looking at it, like these white boys don't know nothing. So he was barking on them and this and that. But they was engaged in it just like we was, and they was right about a lot of that stuff. They was right about a lot of that stuff. But
Yeah.
if he would have had his way, it would have been all thug stuff, all gangster stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
why he didn't like the quote unquote college kids running it. But it's the thing with that stuff is it's not just that you're street that makes you smart or dumb. Cause me and you was street and we was smart, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you don't necessarily we was reading comic books, reading all that stuff, watching Weird Science and all that weird stuff.
Yep.
And Revenge of the Nerds. So it wasn't that you was street, so that made you want to be hip hop. It's not about that. Cause the streets got so many different kinds of people.
Yeah.
And that was the problem. They were trying to people like Benzino was trying to lock it in and say if you ain't running around with your sleeves rolled up like DMX, you know what I'm saying, like or some rah rah all day and night, then you don't belong in hip hop, and that's garbage. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
what I liked about the early Source before they was making a lot of money, because he said they wasn't. He really was honest and said Source in the beginning was only making a little bit of money. They was making money, but it wasn't like that. So they had to sell advertising space, which I understand. But when
Yeah,
the
that makes sense.
advertising space
That's only business. Good business.
is business, yeah. But when the advertising space started to lead to you getting more consideration with your mics, right? Los in the building said, "What up?" Salute to
Oh
Los.
no.
So when you're giving the mics away and you're giving premier article space away because someone is buying ads, that's a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem. You lose your integrity. I can see you you know, advertising, I had no problem with that. When people start influence how you rate their album because they're giving up more money for advertisement, then that's when things get all messed up.
Dale, I used to love the Source, bro. I used to love the articles. Bones Malone, all this stuff. Like Bones Malone, he on my Facebook page. He gave me a compliment years ago about one of my songs. I was really, really happy about that. This was a long time ago though. But like it was a lot of good articles. Do you remember when Star and Buck Wild joined the Source?
Yeah, I remember that.
How crazy Star and Buck Wild was in the Source, bro. It was nothing like the Source. They was the Boondocks. They really was the Boondocks. When Star and Buck Wild came into the Source, that was like Riley and what's the other dude name? What's the other kid name of Boondocks?
Riley and Huey.
Huey. That was them.
Yeah.
And it was like their articles were so vivid. It felt like you was running through New York with them. Like it was crazy. They was dissing everybody. That's where that original, they the original dissing publication. Like when them two dudes came, they was dissing everybody, hard body. They was the internet before the internet.
Mm-hmm.
They was saying what all the angry dudes wanted to say. They was saying it. Remember, they was always about to get beat up by this person, that person.
Yeah.
Star and Buck Wild, bro. And I think Star and Buck Wild got pulled away to XXL over some money. Did that happen, Dale?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think Star and Buck Wild got offered mad money to leave the Source, and they went to. That's when when XXL came out. Let me show the comments. Chop wrote. He said they was the Jerky Boys back in the day, but when Star and Buck Wild hit that damn Source, it turned that whole thing upside down. That's when the Source was at the top of his game. They had everybody in the business trying to get in the Source. Everybody paying them money under the table to be a part of it. If you had a clothing line, you had to put it in there, or you wasn't getting nowhere.
XXL was competing with them for a minute.
Yeah. What you mean, Dale?
XXL was on a level for a minute. They was just as good at one point as the Source.
They was better than just as good. They was killing their ass.
Yeah.
They the reason Source went almost out of business. Because they came when the Source got real shiny suit, right? My bad. When the Source got real shiny suit, XXL came back with the gritty stuff. XXL was like when DMX came into business. They was real gritty, and they took the Source. They took a chunk out of the Source. Source was,
and they stayed relevant. They stayed relevant for a long time because they had that freshman cover.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think, that freshman cover didn't start till late in the game though.
Yeah, but I'm saying they stayed relevant for a long time because of that.
Because of that, yeah. And
Source started falling off, and XXL was still relevant because they had that freshman cover. Everybody looked forward to that freshman cover.
You know why Source started falling off though? One of the main reasons was Benzino.
Oh yeah.
When he came from behind the wheels, and everybody got wind that he was sticking his group in there and changing mics. Then he got into the beef with Eminem. This 22 years ago, he beef with Eminem still. This damn day. The Source went down when everybody figured out Benzino was part of the Source, and he started beefing with Eminem. That's when the store started going down. XL was the one, we keeping it real. They came, and they book literally was really actually better. It was just a better book. It was just a better book. Nas is like, what that title say at the top? 100 what? I can't even read it. 100 what? What it say, Dale?
100 biggest moments in hip hop.
Oh, damn. XXL was just a better book. It's just a better book. And a lot of people from Source went to XXL because they didn't like Benzino.
Mm-hmm.
I should read why XXL was even started. I bet you some of them had something to do with that. Was that Elliot? Let me look this up.
I think it was somebody that used to work for the Source went and started XXL, I think.
I think you're right. I'm bugging out. Why did I not remember this? Because I used to know all this, bro. I do not remember what happened with this double XL? Hold on, let me see. History, double XL. 1997, they released the first issue of double XL. It features Jay-Z and Master P on a double cover. In 2006, double XL took over the struggling magazine Scratch. Remember Scratch magazine?
Yeah, I used to love Scratch because
That was a
it was
DJ book.
it was a producers and DJ book. It was producers
Yeah.
and DJ.
Yep. That was double XL bought that. So let me see what happened. How did it start? If they're gonna tell you how it started. They're not even gonna tell you how it started. I need to get more information. I don't remember, but I think something about I think you're right. X people from the source when it started that double XL. And it's crazy how much stuff we don't know. We just know that the books were great. And
Yeah.
I remember so much controversy about the people writing the books. It was like it was just so much like turmoil behind the scenes with the editors and the people in charge and the people under them. It was like because I know that they walked out of the source over Bizzino being like too gangster, trying like just
Yeah.
a whole lot of just drama behind that Benzino stuff. And
And was that chick named Dream Hampton? Was she a writer for one of the
I believe
magazines, or am
so.
I mixing her up with somebody else?
I believe so. I believe. Let me look because I'm bugging out. I hate that I got to look this stuff up. Some of this stuff should be common knowledge, but it's
Hey, we
so
old heads. We forgetting.
yeah. So Dream Hampton, she is a American film. She did the Surviving R. Kelly. Got his ass up out of here. She
But
was
then she used to
right.
write for the source.
She's a right for Vibe, Essence, Village Voice, Detroit News, The Source, Spin,
Okay.
whole bunch of stuff. She's well renowned writer.
I knew she wrote
And
for the source.
yeah. And there was a lot of what's the other girl that it's another what's this girl name? See, I'm bugging out. I wanted to do some research before I got on here, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going in, bro. We're just going in. Kim Osario. I used to low key have a little crush on Kim Osario, to be honest with you. But yeah, she was up there too, and I'm gonna read her thing. It says that she was let me see, she has a lawsuit against the source. One more situation at the source.
Dang.
Um it says that she filed a report to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission in 2005 over a case of sexual harassment. The jury rejected the case brought forth by Michelle Joyce, but Osario's case went ahead. It is now known that as early as '04, Osario began talking to lawyers about the merits of her case. She filed an affidavit with the EEOC and detailed the work environment at the source. Osario soon after sent an email to the magazine's human resources department outlining her complaint, and after refused to withdraw her email, she was fired. After refusing to withdraw, she was fired. Her employers claimed it was because of poor performance. But she had a trial. It lasted 8 days apparently, and they said she had not been a victim of sexual harassment. And David Mays and Benzino had terminated her in retaliation. They said she wasn't sexually harassed, but they did retaliate against her. She got $7 million from them.
Mm.
So she did win $7.5 million from David Mays and Benzino, and it just was turmoil up there. It's like
Yeah.
you can't have nothing that big and nothing that. It's a lot of male dominated. It's a lot of things going on that's strictly testosterone up there. They said the source was like crazy. It was like being in the streets up there. Once this dude got up there, yeah. But we I felt like we as individuals knew how to separate that. Like we could listen to NWA and still go to work and flip burgers. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't confuse trying to be all super hard all day because NWA was super hard on records. Like we could understand that life has more to it than that, right? But it seemed like Benzino wanted that all day and all night. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this rah-rah, that this ain't hip hop. Like, hip hop bigger than that. Because if it's a black music, then the black people are bigger than that. We're not one thing. We're not just one. We're not just the Corner Boys is a small group of dudes. The dudes on the block that's hustling. When you peel back all the people in the hood, they're probably 2% of that whole hood. Right? Like, to be honest, it's not a 10% thing. Even if it's 10%, that's 90% of people going to work doing something else that's not hustling. So for hip hop to consider itself to be street and to formulate all this stuff around hustling all the time, like it won't make no sense because that we're bigger than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of dudes went to the army. A lot of dudes went to college. A lot of dudes went to sports. A lot of dudes went work at the post office. Like, a lot of dudes didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So we don't need to be told over and over the streets is about guns and drugs and this and that. So I feel like when the Source tried to do too much, it was fabricating the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, they're selling alcohol. They're selling all kind of like weed papers. You know what I'm saying? They selling St. Ives. They selling, you know what I'm saying? Swisher Sweets and all, like everything, you know what I'm saying? Just hood stuff, right? And I get it, the hood is what it is. But at the same time, we was more than that. And when you put the battery into trying to create a narrative in a magazine that's supposed to really show the whole thing, and all you start showing is chicks with bikinis on, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking through here right now, and it's advertisements for other rappers, which is okay, but I'm looking at alcohol advertisements, chicks in bikinis, dudes rolling up, whatever they rolling up, like it's whatever, right?
But for a long time in the 90s, it did cover the whole gamut of what hip hop was.
In the beginning, yes. In the beginning. And I
I would
feel
say
like
most of the 90s it did that. Most of the 90s, I believe it did that.
yes. And I feel like we knew that it was kind of being exaggerated after a while because it became cartoonish. The rappers themselves became cartoonish. I remember when Eazy-E and them was on Rap City and they was mad at Ice Cube and they threw some ice cubes on the ground, started stomping on them. And it was like, that's Ice Cube right there on the ground. I was like, what? What's happening right now? It became goofy. It started getting like they had to have these personas, and the book started to portray these personas, these bigger than life. That's when hip hop became it started not being believable. For a while, hip hop had got kind of corny. Like, it got really that little era right around when it was like it got so overly gangstified. You know what I'm saying? It got so overly gangstified that they started making the movies. What's the movie? Don't Be a Menace while you're drinking your juice in the hood. Don't Be a Menace to society while you're drinking your juice in the hood. Like, it started to become a cartoon of itself.
A parody of itself.
And the magazine started to be the parody.
Mm.
It became crazy, bro. I don't know, Dale. I believe that we will never get that again. Victor in the building. He says salute. What do you think what do you think the significance of these magazines are to this day, right now? Source, they still got a website. XXL, they still on Twitter. And Low says C4. XXL still on Twitter. They still got a website. Who else got these? Who else these other books? I know Vibe Magazine still floating around somewhere.
Which I ain't been on none of their websites in a long time.
and they I have to go to some of them so I can get stories when I'm doing news stuff. But their impact is gone because
it's so many things out there now. You got hip hop DX.
Yeah.
That website, and you got other hip hop websites. Then you got all these hip hop podcasts.
It's too
Like
much.
all.
Yeah. And it's crazy because they doing the same thing they was doing, but they doing it faster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chop said Ambrosia for Heads is still good. But they was never a magazine
Yeah.
though, right? They were?
No, it's like it's a website now.
Ambrosia for Heads, because they cater to the people that they know who their crowd is. They're not
Yeah, you got
chasing.
the Rock
Yeah,
the Bells website.
yeah.
Okay Player website.
Right now, the Source and Double XL trying to keep up with hip hop instead of get ahead of it and do the
Mm-hmm.
next big thing. They trying to fit into it, which is a problem. People don't want nothing that's trying to fit in. They want the stuff that's cutting edge. And the Source and Double XL, they lost that. So they were for a time. They were amazing. Like I remember running to the store, and if I ain't had the money, we was creeping them things, putting it right up on our shirt. I remember we would go in there 5 deep, and all 5 of us get a Source magazine. And, you know what I'm saying? And right in the 7-Eleven, and which is
Source
crazy.
had about a 20-year run. Had about a 20-year run.
I think you're right. Let me see. I mean, they still around.
I'm talking about 20 strong years.
I ain't gonna say that, there.
I say
I
they
ain't
had
gonna
about
say that.
almost 20 years strong.
Let me look that up. I think the Source. This thing said that Double XL came out in 96, 97. Wasn't too much longer than that. Source went down.
They were still popping in the 2000s.
They was, but
Like
that Double
early
XL,
to mid 2000s, they were still popping.
they were, but that wasn't. That's not 20 years.
I said almost 20 years, almost, give or take. More give.
So let me see. Let me try to pinpoint. Then that first issue came out 36 years ago. That damn newsletter.
Mm-hmm. See, I wasn't
Which that?
aware of it. I wasn't aware of it during the newsletter time.
Yeah, that's a little before your time. But let me see. Vic got a question about the Source. Let me see. He said, I don't really see the Source and Double XL being marketed very well on social media platforms. They really can't get their foot in there because there's so much stuff that's better than them now.
Yeah.
It's so much stuff that's better than them that it don't make no sense to really. You don't need to go to them. They really behind. They slow. They outdated. And then by you can tell that they're trying to keep up just by the way that they do their freshman list.
Somebody
You
should
know
do
what
a
I'm saying?
documentary on the Source.
It's
They should
probably
do a
coming.
documentary on the Source.
Victor said, who owns the Source now? I don't even know. Let me find out who owns the Source now. That's a good ass question because I never even thought about who owns these dudes now. Let me see. The Source. Who owns the Source? They're not even saying who owns them now. I don't know. By 2009, they were among those losing readership and advertising income. They were the #1 magazine in America at one point, and then they started 09. So, damn, Dale, you might be right. Hold on, let me see. Because they
Yeah.
started in 88, and by 09, they started going down. But
About 20 years.
88 was the newsletter. They wasn't even a real book yet. I don't think they became
Yeah.
a real book
About
till,
time 1990 came around, it was like a real magazine.
yeah. Yeah, I believe so. Let me see. Um, See, this history choppy. Yeah, they need a freaking magazine. I mean, they need a documentary because this history choppy in here, bro.
Yeah, I would love to see a documentary on them joints. On Source and at Double XL. Do one on all them hip hop publications.
Yeah, Joe. I don't know, man. I feel like Double XL started tearing them up, and then the internet beat them real bad, and they just couldn't keep up. Then you had the
Yeah.
blog sites come out, all hip hop and all that stuff like that. What's the other one I used to love? SOHH. Support online hip hop. I think that's what it was stood for. I used to love SOHH. That was the biggest thing in the world to me. I used to be in that chat room all the time, like all hip hop and SOHH, and it was another one too. It's one more. I used to love how all hip hop used to they would put the song of the like the week or day or whatever. Like they was always finding new hot joints. All hip
All
hop,
hip hop still doing things.
they still doing shit. They still not as they right there with the source trying to stay relevant. I don't even know how all hip hop even make any money, dog. At one point, they was the god of hip hop. They was hip hop
They get a lot of
gods.
interviews. They do a lot of interviews, like on
They
online
do.
interviews with artists.
They do, but they don't really do numbers.
Mm.
All hip hop don't really do no numbers. I don't know how they pay these people, to be honest with you, bro. But somehow they still paying people because I don't see no mad dash to read or see what's going on in all hip hop or SOHAs because they constantly trying to rebrand themselves and they try to do articles outside of what's popping, which is I guess that's good. That's what you should do. It seems like they're still trying to find themselves. Like if I go to all hip hop, their YouTube page, which should be
Yeah, I think
popping.
they do a lot of interviews.
They do. They do. Let's look it up. Let's see. But
they get some good people on there too, from what I see.
Yeah, they do. Let me look it up because I know all hip hop. First of all, let's go to their page. They site. I want to see what their site was. Remember, all hip hop used to have what was the little crazy looking in the rumor section? They had the crazy looking. I'm trying to remember. We got some comments. Let me see. Gemini in the building. Says salute the OGs from Durham. Salute Gemini in the building. He said from Durham, North Carolina. Salute the OGs. He's tapping in from Durham, North Carolina. Salute, brother. And then RMG said, Hustling Web Series in the building. Salute Charles Brown. They got to pay homage to the source and Yo MTV Rap 100. Baptist here, you say joy. Let me put that comment up. So listen, bro. I feel like my life without comic books and without the source would have been trash. Would have been trash. Cause I was a homebody, bro. Like me and you was homebodies when we was young, bro. We was in the house listening to music, watching Power Rangers or whatever we was watching, and reading comic books and reading the source. We was reading comic books all up into like well into the I know I was still reading comic books late 80s.
I
Late
stopped
80s.
collecting when I was like 24 years old. That's when I stopped collecting them.
Yeah, me too, because they got too expensive. But
I don't know why. Maybe because I had other responsibilities. I could keep up with it. You know, you
yeah, it
got
was
your
too
own
expensive.
place. Yeah, you
But
got your own place. You gotta pay
source book
rent.
got
You gotta
expensive
pay
too.
car note. You know, you can't keep up with it. I had like 2 jobs at the time. I had time to read them joints.
Remember you used to could get them delivered?
I don't remember that.
You don't remember the source book would come to your house?
Oh, I thought you were talking about comic book.
No, source book. Well, you could have got comic books delivered too.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. Of course you get the source to your house. Yeah. You could do that. Yeah, I remember that.
Remember this though, Dale? The Columbia Music House, the Columbia Publishing Music House, where you could get 20 CDs for a penny.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then when you would get the CDs after a month or so, the real bill would come. Like like about 3 months. And if you didn't pay it, they wanted the CDs back.
Yeah.
If you didn't keep the subscription, so you get 20 CDs and you get a couple CDs every month. And if you didn't keep the subscription, they would hit you with this big ass bill. I got mad CDs like that. I got mad Fuji's, this and that. It was wild, Dale. That was our internet. Source magazine coming to your house and CDs from the daggone RCA Columbia CD collection. And you had to go through and click. They had a sheet of paper. And you had to select all the CDs you wanted. Like 20 of them. You ain't never do that shit, Dale?
No, I ain't never do that. I know about it, of course, but I never did it.
You had to scratch on the still sheet of paper the 20 you wanted every month. And they would sell you the CDs. But when you look back,
I remember it, but I never done it.
They had so many CDs to sell, it made sense for them to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I had stuff I didn't even care about. I got some of them CDs to this day over there. Like I got like Aaliyah, Destiny Child, like all this stuff that, like little stuff that I didn't even care about. Like I wouldn't even listen to it, but you had to figure out something else because to get your 20 joints, you had to mark all the little boxes. So like, all right, man, all right, Missy Elliott. You know what? Give me that Shania Twain. Damn, all right, Prince. Okay. All right, give me the other Prince. Like, just getting silly stuff because you wanted to get your little rap stuff in there too. Funny as hell, bro. But I digress. I digress. So I feel like, let me see. Let me check the comments. CEO said real talk. Chop commenting down the bottom too. Let me see what Chop said because I can't see it. He said I started my CD collection because of that deal. Facts. Facts. Yo, I don't. But the thing was, they couldn't do nothing to you if you didn't pay it. They could just harass you with a whole bunch of letters and stuff. And if they had your credit card, they could try to like charge it or whatever. But really, for the most part, it really wasn't nothing they could do. So big dudes got mad CDs. I'm telling you, I got a bag. I got a box so big, and it's all from that old stuff. I got mad CD. I'm gonna start posting my little CD covers and whatnot.
Joe, I used to get so much. I used to get so much joy going to the record store, Joe. Like the Wiz, Tower. Joe, I used to go on my lunch break, spend my whole hour lunch break at the Tower joint. They ain't even eat none of this shit.
I used to love going to Tower Records, though. I miss them record stores.
Joe, I used to spend hours there on the weekends.
You know how crazy it was that we was buying cassette singles and cassette and the vinyl singles, like a vinyl. Because
they had remixes. They had remixes on there.
Remixes on the vinyl. The remixes on the vinyl. But them joints used to cost, I remember you might, for a vinyl single, you still might end up paying $18 sometime. Just for a single. A single with the instrumental, a remix, and an acapella.
Yeah.
They charging $18.99 for that. Now they would have these little sales $9.99 or sometimes if it got old, it'd be $4.99 or whatever. But you know how much cake they made off us back in the 80s and 90s on that rap stuff? They caked up.
Yeah.
You remember Tigger? Do you remember Tigger from Rap City, the basement? Used to work in Iverson Mall in that Tower Records. Do you remember that?
It wasn't no Tower Records at Iverson Mall.
It wasn't the Wiz? It was called. It wasn't Tower Records. It was
the Wiz, right? Maxi Waxy or whatever.
What's the name of that record store that used to be in the mall? It wasn't Tower Records. It was either Waxy Maxi or whatever that record store was. Tigger worked in that record store in Iverson Mall. Because I remember buying some records from him in that joint. And he was already starting to pop and was working in it. That's how we knew who he was. Like, oh, that's the dude from the down out. He was working in that record store.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Chop said, I miss standing outside waiting for the Friday releases. I remember when the Double Wu album dropped and I was over at Tower Records on GW campus and I bought 2 copies of the vinyl and CD. Chop, when that Wu-Tang double CD came out, me, Dang, and Juan, and it might have been one more person, bought that joint, parked in front of Juan's house, listened to the entire double CD. Twice. Double CD. And I remember we didn't rewind nothing. I only pushed rewind on one song. And them niggas got mad as shit. I pushed rewind. I said, I want to hear that again. It was dog shit. ODB, dog shit. You remember that joint?
Yeah, that was my joint.
I said, I got to hear that joint again. I pressed rewind on ODB's dog shit. Them dudes got mad. What the fuck, yo? Don't be doing that shit. Like, that was the only song dudes got to hear twice. But, yeah, back in the day, them record stores was crazy. And a lot of times, the source was giving you the album before it came out or the single, so you had to wait. They would put the ads in there coming out. Like, they still do. Like, they give you coming out in June, da-da-da. Geeking. Can you remember anything you saw in the source that you was geeking to get?
Probably so much stuff, Joe. I can't even pinpoint one thing in particular.
I believe when I saw Life After Death, I was geeking. When they put the art, they had the advertisement for Life After Death in there, I was geeking. But Mary's brother Peter bought the Life After Death, and I'm gonna be honest. On my first listening to that, I thought it was too all over the place. I was like, this joint
I still
overrated.
think it's too all over the place.
You do still?
Yeah.
I think it's cohesive. I think he had to hit everything, and I think he did a good job. But I can see why you say that.
I'm in the minority with that album. I don't have it as high as a lot of people have.
But do you have it high at all? Is it good?
It's not a classic to me. Because I think it's too
argue.
all over the place. I got too many. I too many songs on it.
It is a lot of songs. Double CD.
I skip a lot of songs on it.
Yeah. But when the songs are good, they good, Dale.
Yeah, the highs are high, but like the shit high. Like going back to Cali type shit and
I know
player, all that shit. I can't. Sky's the limit. I can't fucking shit.
Sky's the limit is not bad. What about It's Bone and Biggie? It's Bone and Biggie.
I like the Bone joint. I like the Bone joint. I actually like the Bone joint.
Yeah, when I first heard Ready to Die, Life After Death deal, I was like, I don't know, man. But after I kept listening, I thought it was too commercial. But as I started listening, I'm like, yo, this joint got everything. Niggas bleed just like a lot of joints on there is like hard.
He got some good joints like Pin Crack Commandments. I got Story to Tell.
And it's like it evens it out. Them joints, when it's good, it's so good, it evens out. It evens out the commercialized stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this joint more chances, and it actually became it's a really good album. Now, when I go back and play old school stuff, I don't reach for that album, to be honest. I don't reach for Biggie I don't reach for that, but I still hold Biggie in highest regard. Biggie definitely, just off his wordplay, is a top 10 MC, and I don't care what nobody say. I know that we get the conversation, like we talked about it about 2 weeks ago, about his body of work and this and that, but I feel like Biggie done enough that his stuff is so good that he deserves to be in the top 10 to the end of time, because he was spitting stuff that nobody was doing. Like he took a little bit of everybody's stuff.
I don't knock you for saying that. He's just not my personal top 10, but I don't knock nobody for having him in their top 10.
Right. I remember, like, so back to the source though. I remember, Dale, I used to flip past everything to get to the mics.
Yeah, that's pretty much a lot of people.
Flip past everything to get to the mics.
You want to see who's getting 5 bites, because you want to see what you're going to spend your money on.
Yeah, and we believed it. I'm trying to remember what really happened to make you start saying, I ain't mess with them no more. I think it was the mics they didn't give. I think it was the mics when they didn't give the mics to the right albums. That's when we start acting funny about the source.
Mm-hmm.
When stuff was really good, you would see it get 4.5, yada, yada, yada. You'd be like, yo, I don't know what they're doing up there. It felt political. It felt like...
It might be more so the ones they gave high praises to that you thought, oh, come on, this ain't it.
Yeah. Yeah, too. And it was like a lot of stuff that was borderline was getting a lot of praise. And a lot of artists that was borderline was getting a lot of praise, in my opinion. But that goes back to the labels having their hand in it. The labels putting their foot in it. It's a whole business. It's a whole business. I wish I could get somebody on here from that. And you know what? I think I'm going to do that. I want to get somebody that's from that cloth, that was in that building, and just talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
We should have had somebody. I'm going to get somebody,
you want to interview somebody from there?
Yeah. I want to interview somebody from that line of that life that could give me more insight. Because
you probably could get somebody that used to work there. Right. It's probably not as hard to get somebody from there at this stage.
Let them tell their story, bro. I just want to hear. But what these kids don't understand, they got it so easy. They can just go like I just did on Google and find out shit in 2 seconds. We ain't had that, bro.
No.
We had to wait a month, 2 months to get a half decent story. Like, and the internet did exist. I think it just said that the internet at 98. they had a Source magazine website. So by 98, we already had the internet, but it still wasn't like this. And 98 is a long time ago.
Yeah.
98 that's damn near, what's that, 25 years, 24, 25 years ago? 26?
Yeah.
Oh, 26 years ago? If my math is mathing. So
yeah, it's about 26 years. Yeah.
So we had the internet. We had the internet. So people could get, before the internet though, it was tough. And even during the internet, it was tough. But them books was life, bro.
Yeah.
Them books was life. And a lot of beefs was carried because of them books. That East Coast, West Coast beef that they trying to make it, they try to rewrite history like the magazines created that beef. East Coast, West Coast was already beefing, bro.
Yeah.
They try to make it like, oh, the media. No, dude. It was already popping. I love how they try to make it like, oh, the Source and the Vibe magazine played it up. No, they just, they played it up, but y'all already had problems. If you listen to all these old rappers talk, they was scared out there when they was in the West Coast.
Yeah.
Why was you scared, sir? If it was no beef, what was you worried about? So they did hype it up. They did hype the West Coast, East Coast beef, but they was reporting. They was reporting what these dudes was, and these dudes happily was going in there telling them whatever.
Yeah.
Pac, I remember mad interviews with Pac. He's barking on everybody. So, you know what's crazy though, Dale? I watched a thing today about Mobb Deep and Tupac beef. And it's crazy how much you forget went down with Mobb Deep and Tupac. How many subliminals that had to go back and forth before he even said their name on Hit 'Em Up. And Pac had nothing to do with the beef that really started because it was over New York, New York.
Yeah.
Pac was in jail when Snoop corrupted him did New York, New York. They claimed they was trying to pay homage to New York with that song. But Biggie was like, when they went to film it in Brooklyn, Biggie got on the radio, which nobody has this audio, but a lot of people saying they heard it. Biggie was like,
him saying y'all just gonna let this go down like this.
Right.
Then somebody shot at their trailer or something. Did somebody shoot at their trailer?
Yeah. Shot at their trailer. So then that's when they went back home and made the song. They made the video of kicking down the New York buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when Mobb Deep dissed them with LA, but nobody really said each other's name. Pac got out of jail, got signed to Death Row, so he started riding on everybody for Death Row. So he really never had beef with Mobb Deep, but he started riding on everybody because he was riding with Death Row.
I wanted to have a topic about the history of diss songs and diss songs in general, especially being that we had this Eminem and Benzino shit recently.
Yeah.
And Nicki and versus Megan Thee Stallion recently and shit.
Let's do that next week.
Yeah.
Let's do that next week. I'm gonna wrap this one up tonight. I think we talked enough about the Source and XXL. Anything you want to add? Rap pages or something you want to talk about?
No. I'd like to give like one recommendation of albums people should listen to that they might not be aware of. The new West Side Gun and Conway the Machine. I think it's called Hall and Nash Part 2.
Really?
Where Alchemist doing all the production. That joint is nice. That joint is worth. It's only 9 songs.
What?
Short listen. It's nice. Real nice. Alchemist doing all the beats.
Damn, that should have popped up on my thing. I don't know why it didn't pop up on my thing.
It's called Hall and Nash Part 2.
Look at that on the shout outs. All right, let me see. Conway
and West Side Gun together.
I see it. Damn, this joint been out. This joint say 2023.
Yeah, I just heard it I heard it like a month ago. It
just dropped on right before New Year's. All right, good luck, Dale. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, that joint is good. I recommend that joint. And I'm not a West Side Gun fan. I'm not a fan of his voice, but
not really. Every time I try to listen to his joints, I give it one spin and I'm out. I give it one spin and I'm out.
Hey yo,
But I like when he get on the collabs with them, but I'm not like, I don't listen to a lot of his stuff by himself. I give it, like I said, one spin, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna get.
I think he knows that. I think that's why he always got a lot of features on his joints.
Yeah, that joint he did with Black
Black Star.
Black Star. Woo. They
Yeah.
bodied that joint though. He was out of his league on that joint. But he held his own, but he still was out of his league.
Yeah.
He had nothing for them dudes. That was a whole different.
Well, he out his league with Conway, but it still works. The album still works.
All right, I'm gonna check it out. Chop said Hitler Wears Hermes is a classic. Hitler Wears Hermes 10 is a classic. Hermes.
Is that the one with the joint with Black Star? Is that the album that got the Black Star feature on there?
I think so. I'm not sure. I think so. But I'm gonna leave it at this. Source Magazine was the Bible for a time until human hands got in there and messed the Bible up.
Till Benzino messed it up.
Yeah. But it's more than just him because, payola and all the nonsense that went on. It was a lot. They said the whole staff got fired and they put out press publications trying to destroy the magazine. It's just a lot going on. For a time, it was good, but just like anything else, human hands ruined everything, and same thing happened with that. Yeah. Double XL came along. They were strong. They killed the Source. Source ain't had nothing for them because Source had got too commercial, too worked up about getting money, and they turned to trash. And they still was the biggest thing, but they was trash. Right that time, they was beefing with Eminem and all that. They was already washed up. Everybody know that the Source was struggling, but it is what it is. I'll salute. Let me say this: salute to the people who created the Source. You made hip hop. They literally made hip hop what it is today. And for all the people that's wondering, I believe ain't Dave Mays white?
I believe Dave what? Mays is white. Yeah, he is.
For all the crying Benzino did on Drink Champs about the white rapper Eminem, I believe that his partner is white too.
Yeah, he is. I believe he is.
So I'm gonna leave it at that. It is what it is. Old heads. Chop put the comment down the bottom. Check out Chop's comment. We're gonna get out of here. Let me see what he said. Chop said, because I can't see.
Just watch that Benzino.
Yeah. Oh no, that's Clout. Cloud Claudius Charles. He said, just watch the Benzino Drink Champs episode. I'm 26 and I'm learning a lot from this live stream. Salute. So I feel like, and I'm gonna leave it at this, and we're gonna get out of here. The era of one or two publications being able to dictate hip hop is over. I don't think the journalists can dictate it like they used to, because they used to pick and choose who could go in the magazine and who was dope and who wasn't. They give you 5 mics, or or they could say you the unsigned hype. Now they can't pick and choose anything. They're trying to keep up with it. Therefore,
they're not the gatekeepers no more.
Huh?
They're not the gatekeepers no more.
They're not the gatekeepers no more. And for that, I don't know if that's bad or good, but I think that gatekeeping is out. And I think that, it's more right now, the people are gatekeeping, and the people are letting a lot of stuff in, whether we like it or we don't. And at some point, we just got to accept it or not accept it, and let it be what it is. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't know, Dale. And that right there is what old heads do. So, Dale, what's your favorite way to get your hip hop right now? How do you find hip hop right now?
I usually listen to a few podcasts and I go on hip hop. Well, Hip Hop DX is leaning way to the younger crowd. So I go on there to try to keep up with what's going on with the younger crowd, keep up with the new generation, just to know who they are, not because I'm going to go search them out. But it's just two different sources, different like podcasts or the website here and there. Okay. Or somebody like a good DJ like Chop would tell me what was popping, was good. So
Chop the Butcher. Chop just sent you that Kid Cudi. You didn't think that was good though?
No, I ain't fucking with
Open your mind, Dan. Open your mind, Dan.
I listened to it from start to finish. It was just okay to me.
Question of the day: did you listen to the Kanye album?
You talking about the joint with what's his name?
Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah, no, I haven't listened to it. I heard it got pulled off the streamers joint.
No, that was just on Apple.
Was that some marketing shit?
No, he didn't. They pulled it for some reason, I can't remember, but he went around it and did it through a different distributor, and they put it up. So then they took it back down again. So whatever it was, like whoever was at Apple, I think it was Apple, didn't want the album on there. I don't remember why. But he went around it and put it up through a third party, and they took it back down again. So I don't know what's going on. But
was it sample clearance? Because I heard some people didn't. A few people he got samples from didn't clear certain shit.
Yeah, but Chop said the Freddie Gibbs joint is dope. But I'm not gonna listen to. I just put a whole video up today on my on my Charles Brown channel. If anybody want to go watch it, I put up why I would never hear Vultures 1. It's got a whole video that I just put up today. Go check that out on the Charles Brown channel. Chop just said to Kanye, huh?
You listening to it because you just refuse to listen to it because
I'm not listening to no more Kanye albums because I explained it in my video. I think that he's devolved into something else, and I explained it in my video. Go watch the video. Why it says I would never listen to Vultures 1.
I'll listen to it, but I'm not. I'll listen to it, but I'm not. Seeking. I'm not going to. It have to come across my path. I'm not searching for it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Not actively trying to listen to it. Put it like that.
Okay. So I'm gonna wrap it up. We're gonna call it a night. If you just joined us, rewind it. Start from the top. Check us out. Make sure you tune in. CLBMG Network. We will be right here next Monday night. This show's moving to Monday nights, gang. We're gonna be here on Monday nights. On Tuesday nights, we got the mix down. On Wednesday nights, we got the What Show, where we talk about all hip hop current events. The Old Heads channel, we don't talk about current events. We talk about old stuff like Source Magazine and the RCA Columbia Music House CD collection.
Columbia House.
Columbia House. We talk about old stuff. So make sure you tune in. And then on Thursday nights, I moved the show from Thursday nights because I'm doing a all genre open mic once again. So I'm back out in the streets. I'm letting people come through and perform. It's at Halo Lounge in Pawtucket. So my guy Klaus said, why do you think Kanye's fans are so unable to see he's a shell of his former self? It's similar to the Trump cult, in my opinion. Well, it's exactly like the Trump cult. Once you start idolizing somebody as a cult figure, you can't see any wrong in them. That's why Jim Jones was able to make those people drink that poison Kool-Aid and kill themselves, because they believed everything he said. And
not Jim Jones the rapper.
Not Jim Jones the rapper. The real Jim Jones, who really killed a whole bunch of people in his cult because the police were coming to arrest him. So he made them all drink some Kool-Aid. That's why the phrase came, "Don't drink the Kool-Aid." Became a what do you call that when it's not it's
catchphrase or whatever.
A catchphrase, like that. So Kanye has people that idolize everything he does. It's going to stay that way for a very long time. There's no explanation for it. I don't understand it, but I do know that most of Ye's music has been trashed for quite a few years. And it's almost impossible to make it good when you got so many people hands in it, so many people writing and producing. It's almost impossible to make a good album when I got 40 people that are telling me which way to go with it. And he's still insecure about it, about what to put in.
I heard this interview that Havoc from Mobb Deep. He said he produced on the Donna or the Jesus joint, one of them joints, and he sent them, the whole beat, drums, music, everything. And he said Kanye just took the drums out of it and had other people putting the other shit on top of it. Like he was taking like different elements from different producers and just putting it together. And he said he didn't even know he was doing that.
He should
I
have
was like,
though.
that's fucking this shit.
But that's what he do, bro. And how can
Yeah.
you have a good shit like that? He wants everybody's fingerprint on it, but at some point it's too many fingerprints.
Yeah.
At some point it's too many fingerprints. All of the classic albums, think about most of the classic albums. They don't have 100 fingerprints. Them joints really got a very limited amount of people. You might have features, but it ain't like 50 people putting something into each song.
Yeah.
You can't make a cohesive project like that. So I think Kanye stands are a breed unto themselves, and they have become something other than like objective. They don't even let the album come out halfway. As they're on the third song, they're already on Twitter saying it's a classic. So it's like it's ridiculous, and I don't even listen to them stands. But check my video out, and we're gonna call it a night. You good there? Anything you want to say?
It was the Pablo joint. I think he was talking about it was the Pablo album that he had sent Pete
Okay.
over and he the drums or something for. Yeah.
It sounds weird, and it sounds like some Kanye stuff, man. And salute to Prodigy and Mobb Deep. The show I did with Mobb Deep was one of Prodigy's last shows alive, bro. Like the show he
Oh, wow.
did with me, the show he did with me up in Rhode Island, where I got Mary's brother Peter to take a picture with him. That was Peter. You know, Peter passed away. That was one of his idols, and he got to take a picture with them. And not much longer after that show he did with me, he died.
Oh, that's crazy. Wow, I didn't know that.
That same year. And so it is what it is. But salute, rest in peace. And old heads, man, we getting out of here, man. I appreciate y'all watching. Follow 4 Eyes, the Ugly Professor on all social medias. I'm Challz Brown. Follow me on that as well.
Go follow my YouTube page. It goes by Dale Man. Dale Man.
Stay less. That's what it is. Salute to Dale. Chop said dope show, guys. I had a good time as usual. We'll be back next Monday night. Unless we do something emergency gathering for something and we come back earlier than that. But for the most part, it'll be Monday night.
All right.
All right, gang. I'm going to catch y'all. Dale, I appreciate you.
All right. Appreciate you. Bye. Peace.
Peace, Dale.